It was a busy day in Carson City today as legislative committees heard and passed bills on subjects as diverse as affordable housing and death with dignity.
Now, also on the docket, adding more commissioners to the Clark County Commission. Interesting. Politics Now co-host Steve Sebelius has been following some of those hearings, and they had a jam-packed day.
I sure did. Well, Brian and Denise, the legislature blew through the deadline on Monday for bills. Much like journalists, we wish we could blow through our deadlines, but we can't. But lawmakers did their best today to reduce the backlog of legislation they'll face next month when the first real deadline to pass bills is set. Between now and then, a lot of bills are going to need hearings. First up, the Senate Government Affairs Committee passed Senator Julia Ratty's bill to expand affordable housing. The measure would allow local governments to waive some fees to encourage developers to build housing for people at or below 60% of the average median income. Any local government interested in the idea would first have to pass an ordinance authorizing the move. Now, an amendment discussed at a past hearing that would have allowed for rent control was dropped. Next, the committee passed Senate Bill 127 to expand the number of Clark County commissioners from the current 7 to 9. The 2 new commissioners would not appear on the ballot until the 2022 election. That's after the 2020 census is used to draw new district lines. Just for comparison, by the way, Los Angeles County has more than 10 million people. That's 5 times the population of Clark County, but there are just 5 members on the Board of Supervisors there. The committee heard Majority Leader Nicole Canizaro's bill to amend the Police Officers' Bill of Rights. Concerns have been raised by media and watchdog groups about the bill because of provisions that would make body camera footage of police officers confidential and would require police departments to blur the faces of officers who did appear on video. Canizaro said the bill is still being revised, but that it wasn't her intent to make the videos secret.
Some of the concerns that have been raised to me, and I just wanted to clarify for the record before we get started, that this bill is not attempting, and obviously I think the legislative language maybe needs some work, but this bill is not intending to undo any of the, I think, really good work that has been done as it relates to body cameras that are worn by most of the uniformed officers that this may relate to. And so we're happy to continue working on this legislation.
Now, the bill has the support of the Metro Police Officers Union, but a lobbyist for Metro Police objected to several of the provisions. The legislation will have to return to the committee for possible amendments before it moves on to the Senate floor. Finally, the Senate Health and Human Services Committee passed a Senate Bill 165. On a party line vote, that bill would allow a doctor to prescribe a lethal dose of medicine to terminally ill patients. The committee's 3 Democrats supported the measure, but 2 Republicans, including Dr. Joe Hardy of Boulder City, voted against it. That measure now goes to the Senate floor. Now, all told, nearly 800 bills have been introduced in this session so far. Since that bill deadline was waived this week, that number is sure to grow. Lawmakers have 120 days. That ends on June 3rd to get through all those measures. There'll probably be more than 1,000 when it's all said and done.
Another reason why they need to meet more often.
Yes, instead of just once every 2 years.
Right.
Good point. It's a mountain of work.
Get things done. All right, thanks, Steve.
Thanks a lot.